the league versus Caitlin Clark. And that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take it to the next level.
Even 3 years ago, you would not talk about the W at this level. Don't do that.
Guys.
Nobody was, Monica. You make it Stephen A. Monica.
Monica McNutt shared her thoughts live on air about Caitlin Clark, saying, "We need to recognize all the players in the league instead of giving Caitlin all the credit for the attendance records." She added that there have been great players before Caitlin who didn't receive the same attention or viewership.
The response of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her, is like, whoa, bro. Like, also, like, you're in my mentions talking about women's basketball? I've never ever seen you before in my life.
It's clear that the media focus around Caitlin Clark draws a lot of discussion. Yet she stays focused on her game, letting her performance speak for itself. Caitlin keeps setting new records and proving her consistency on the court, while fans continue to appreciate how she handles every challenge with professionalism and confidence.
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
All right, we gotta go.
Stephen A., I'm talking to you. Wow. Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Really
You
appreciate
missed my girl, but you missed a lot of episodes.
Caitlin Clark's rapid rise in the WNBA has been nothing short of impressive. But as often happens with major stars, not everyone has been quick to hand her the spotlight. While her record-breaking performances have made headlines, her journey to being recognized among the league's top players has sparked plenty of discussion. ESPN panels have become spaces for debate, with analysts like Monica McNutt and Molly Karam sharing different perspectives on Clark's overall impact. At one point, McNutt leaned toward other rookies for top honors, saying that the Rookie of the Year race should reflect team success and overall impact, noting that the Sky are in the playoffs, so you'd have to give the nod to Angel Reese. Earlier in the season, McNutt was one of the strongest voices supporting Reese's case, pointing to her consistency and team performance as key factors. She believed that while Caitlin Clark was extremely talented, Reese's overall contribution gave her the edge in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Rookie of the Year is going to go based on the standing.
At the time, McNutt's perspective seemed fair. Angel Reese was performing at an exceptional level for a rookie, showcasing her ability to contribute on both ends of the floor for the Chicago Sky. Her consistency and energy gave her an edge over other first-year players. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever were facing challenges, and despite Caitlin Clark's strong individual numbers, her team's record made it harder for some analysts, including McNutt, to fully recognize her impact early on.
Is cashed in, literally cashed in, but her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. She wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that. Even Caitlin Clark getting knocked down in that game on Saturday, who's standing up applauding?
Later, during an ESPN segment, McNutt adjusted her stance on Caitlin Clark, acknowledging her remarkable growth, but still maintained a measured tone. She admitted that Clark had established herself as one of the top players in the league, not just among rookies. Beyond her impressive stats, McNutt pointed out how Clark's leadership and poise were helping guide the Indiana Fever through a rebuilding phase while drawing record attention from fans. Though McNutt had initially backed Angel Reese, she conceded that Caitlin Clark's performance throughout the season had made a powerful case for recognition.
I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA. There are women that were worthy of coverage prior to her arriving, and I just will not be silenced.
While McNutt eventually acknowledged Clark's talent, not everyone at ESPN seemed as eager to highlight her success. Molly Karam, one of the network's most recognizable hosts, often appeared hesitant to fully spotlight Clark's accomplishments. Whether intentional or not, Karam frequently guided discussions in other directions, even when Clark's record-breaking performances were the main story. Fans noticed that when Caitlin's name came up, Karam seemed cautious about giving her the same level of praise others were offering.
It's physical. Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all.
A memorable moment came after Caitlin Clark surpassed Alyssa Thomas's assist record, a milestone that solidified her status among the league's elite. Instead of focusing on Clark's remarkable achievement, Karam redirected the conversation toward other standout players and their contributions. Viewers quickly picked up on the shift, feeling that Clark wasn't getting the full recognition she had earned. Some suggested Karam's approach was an attempt to keep the spotlight balanced across the league, though to many fans, it came across as somewhat reserved and out of touch with the excitement surrounding Clark's success.
Without
not
people
gonna let
that
you do
laid
it.
the groundwork that deserve shine as well.
Are they
Here's what we're
playing
gonna
now?
do.
Are they playing now?
Here's
Are we
what we're
playing?
gonna
Are
do.
they playing now?
We don't have Andrea.
Remember, you gotta
we don't
slice
have
the
any
leg,
of the women, Chennai.
Remember,
They'll
you gotta
come
slice the
back
leg.
on. We'll revisit this conversation.
Karam's perspective became even more evident when Clark set a new single-season scoring record, another historic milestone that captured the attention of fans across the country. Instead of focusing on the achievement itself, Karam suggested that much of Clark's popularity came from her ability to attract audiences to the WNBA rather than purely from her on-court performance. She implied that Clark's rise was driven more by fan engagement than basketball dominance, a take that many viewers felt overlooked Clark's exceptional skill and hard work. For fans, this seemed unfair, as it was Clark's talent and dedication that had drawn so many new supporters to the league in the first place. Karam's cautious tone left many feeling that Clark's well-earned success wasn't being fully appreciated.
She's going to be dogged by better defenders one-on-one, and of course on the defensive end, she's got to go and play defense. So I'm not sure what the scheme will be to protect her, because nobody has talked about her as a defender.
Stephen A. Smith, known for his outspoken views, also joined the conversation about Caitlin Clark, but he took a very different stance. Throughout the season, Smith had closely followed the growing media attention around Clark and Angel Reese, noting that the supposed rivalry seemed more media-driven than personal. He pointed out that while Reese often leaned into the competitive narrative, Clark remained focused on basketball, letting her play do the talking. Smith emphasized that Clark wasn't interested in drama or headlines. She was simply committed to competing at the highest level and continuing to elevate the women's game through her performance.
Because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, we're not putting the best team out.
Smith also observed that Angel Reese appeared to embrace the rivalry narrative, particularly after an injury kept her off the court for part of the season. He suggested that Reese, while unable to play, stayed in the spotlight by leaning into the competitive storyline with Clark. Rather than allowing Clark's accomplishments to stand on their own, Reese seemed to amplify the rivalry to keep fan attention on both players. As the season progressed, Clark continued to elevate her performance, delivering one standout game after another, while Reese's momentum was interrupted by a wrist injury that sidelined her for the remainder of the year.
When you were waving your hand in Caitlin Clark's face when you were beating her for the national championship, everybody remembered then that you belonged in the WNBA and your future was going to be on the pro level. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Smith further addressed claims that Caitlin Clark's popularity stemmed mainly from her large fan following, a sentiment echoed by some analysts, including Molly Karam. He strongly disagreed, insisting that Clark's success was built on her skill, discipline, and record-breaking play. According to Smith, Clark wasn't just a media favorite. She had earned every bit of her recognition through her performance on the court. He emphasized that Clark's growing fan base was a result of her excellence, not the cause of it, and that she deserved full credit for the impact she was making on the WNBA.
Injury. Let's be real. I literally played with my ankle like a golf ball, like a little golf ball, when we played against Iowa. And like pain, you know, I'm hurt when like I can't play. Like they might have to tell me like you shut down, like you can't play. That's what they was telling me yesterday. Like you shut down.
Another well-known voice who expressed early doubts about Caitlin Clark's transition to the WNBA was legendary coach Gino Auriemma. Before Clark even debuted in the league, Auriemma questioned whether she could adjust to the WNBA's pace and physicality. He suggested that the faster, more aggressive style of play might present challenges for her and wondered if the Indiana Fever was the best fit to maximize her abilities at the professional level.
NBA Player of the Week. Surprise, surprise. Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for League MVP honors. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she beating Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over.
However, as the season went on, Auriemma's initial skepticism began to fade. Caitlin Clark didn't just adapt to the WNBA, she thrived in it. From her very first games, she demonstrated that she could not only compete but excel against the best players in the world. Breaking long-standing records for both assists and points, Clark consistently delivered standout performances that silenced critics and captivated fans. Her ability to lead, make big plays, and elevate her teammates became the defining traits of her rookie season. By year's end, even Auriemma acknowledged how wrong he had been. Clark's success went beyond impressive statistics. It was about her leadership, resilience, and impact on her team. Under her guidance, the Indiana Fever began to find new momentum and confidence. Clark had not only proven she belonged in the WNBA, she was shaping its future.
Fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a big.
Another well-known voice who expressed early doubts about Caitlin Clark's transition to the WNBA was legendary coach Gino Auriemma. Before Clark even debuted in the league, Auriemma questioned whether she could adjust to the WNBA's pace and physicality. He suggested that the faster, more aggressive style of play might present challenges for her and wondered if the Indiana Fever was the best fit to maximize her abilities at the professional level.
The Clark effect is definitely real. I mean, we can all see that. However, experiencing it in person is totally different. I was at the Fever and Indiana game last night, and the amount of 22s that I saw on the way to the arena and inside the Capital One Arena might as well have just been a home game for Caitlin Clark. Not Indiana, Caitlin Clark. The thing is, that didn't surprise me. But what did surprise me was how...
However, as the season went on, Auriemma's initial skepticism began to fade. Caitlin Clark didn't just adapt to the WNBA, she thrived in it. From her very first games, she demonstrated that she could not only compete but excel against the best players in the world. Breaking long-standing records for both assists and points, Clark consistently delivered standout performances that silenced critics and captivated fans. Her ability to lead, make big plays, and elevate her teammates became the defining traits of her rookie season. By year's end, even Auriemma acknowledged how wrong he had been. Clark's success went beyond impressive statistics. It was about her leadership, resilience, and impact on her team. Under her guidance, the Indiana Fever began to find new momentum and confidence. Clark had not only proven she belonged in the WNBA, she was shaping its future.
Indiana Fever scored 110. That was a WNBA record. And on top of it all, she dropped 35. Caitlin Clark, and obviously she's leading the league in assists and all this other stuff. She's phenomenal. She just...
As the WNBA season came to an end, Caitlin Clark had firmly placed herself in the MVP conversation. Stephen A. Smith, one of her most vocal supporters throughout the year, praised her as a legitimate contender for the league's top honor. He highlighted Clark's unique mix of individual excellence and team leadership, placing her name alongside established stars like Aya Wilson. Smith, known for his confident takes, emphasized how Clark's performance spoke for itself, noting her record-breaking 35-point game during Indiana's 110-point outing, another WNBA milestone. He pointed out that Clark not only led the league in assists but also delivered under immense pressure night after night. While Aya Wilson's dominance and consistency made her a deserving MVP favorite, Smith argued that Clark's impact as a rookie was equally extraordinary. What she brought to the game, energy, excitement, and a surge in fan engagement, went beyond statistics. Her ability to perform at such a high level in her first season proved that she already belonged among the league's elite.
Listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout, I have 11 other minds on my team in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there and be us.
Even as some analysts, including Molly Karam, continued to temper their praise, Clark's influence on and off the court was undeniable. She had captured the attention of fans across the globe, transcending the sport with her talent, poise, and determination. Her long-range shooting, sharp playmaking, and ability to deliver in high-pressure moments made her one of the most thrilling players to watch. But what truly set Caitlin Clark apart was her presence, her humility, leadership, and passion for the game. She wasn't just breaking records. She was inspiring a new generation of athletes and rekindling excitement for women's basketball. For the Indiana Fever, she became more than a star player. She became the face of their resurgence. For fans, she represented hope, excellence, and the promise of what the future of the WNBA could be.
The first player in WNBA history to lead the league in assists and three-pointers made, and she has now scored the most points by a guard in a single season in WNBA history. As a rookie, also the first person in history to lead the league in assists and being top 10 in points. I don't think y'all understand how difficult.
From breaking assist and scoring records to leading the Indiana Fever with composure and confidence, Caitlin Clark proved she was far more than just a fan favorite. She was a true superstar. Her influence on the WNBA was undeniable. Even as some analysts hesitated to fully recognize her achievements, Clark's impact kept growing. She wasn't only excelling individually, she was helping elevate the entire league. Clark brought new audiences to the WNBA, boosted attendance, and turned the Fever into one of the most exciting teams to watch. Her thrilling performances sparked conversations that reached well beyond basketball. By the end of the season, it was clear that Caitlin Clark wasn't just one of the best rookies. She was one of the best players in the league, period. Her record-setting season spoke volumes, redefining what a first-year player could achieve. She had earned her place among the WNBA's elite and solidified herself as one of its brightest stars. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out more of our content on screen.